Jon Moxley has expressed his frustrations backstage with AEW. This in a new interview with the New York Post, where he caught many fans by surprise with some of the comments he made. We are going to take a look at exactly what Jon Moxley had to say. Are his criticisms valid? Is he out of pocket? What's going on behind the scenes in All Elite Wrestling? We're also going to talk about big news out of AEW and ROH for that matter, as it looks like they are going to be running a massive venue for them in New York. Is it the one you're thinking about? It just might be. Stay tuned for that and much more coming up right here in this video. So be sure to smash that thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. All right, let's talk about Jon Moxley, the current reigning, defending All Elite Wrestling World Champion, who is involved currently in one of the biggest stories in AEW, not only today, but in AEW history, you could say. This stuff with the Death Riders has taken on a life of its own, and it is very captivating, and people are really interested to see where it goes. And one thing that is for sure is that it looks like this might be a bit of a situation of life imitating art, because Moxley caught a lot of people by surprise with the comments he made in a recent interview with the New York Post. He said the following in this interview: "There will be a lot of stuff that won't be a part of this AEW. For example, earlier this year, I was having a conversation, or was around the conversation earlier this year. I heard a backstage type person talking about interviews or pre-tapes or something. It was a situation where talent were not put in a position to succeed due to lack of preparation, framework, direction, and things like that. The individual said, well, it's the bottom of the card. It doesn't matter." Moxley would go on to say, "Can you imagine saying that? You're fucking fired. Go work at Sunglass Hut." You should be fucking pissed. Like Moxley crashing out here. You should be fucking pistol whipped for saying that. For one, everybody that is on top of the card was at time on the bottom of the card. That's how it works. You climb the ladder. You see this frustration or confusion from some of these talent because there's no fucking ladder. They don't know what to do. They are wandering in the desert. We're going to grab them and we are going to walk them. So again, a little bit of life imitating art here with Jon Moxley, his current storyline, and the criticisms that he had levied there, it looks like, against a backstage personnel in AEW. And first things first, let's talk about the actual criticism and, whether or not Moxley has a right to be upset. I will start off by saying this. I believe that he should be upset. One of the biggest criticisms we've heard over the last number of years with AEW has been a lack of direction and, a sense that sometimes, especially new talent who don't have the TV exposure, who don't have the experience, in wrestling as much as some of these other veterans do, that they are being set up to fail, that they are not as prepared as they should be, that they're kind of given stuff last minute and told to go out there and do it. And, it is, many people like to say, oh, well, it's very similar to what Vince was doing in like 2019, 2020, when he was changing the scripts at the last second. From all the reports that we're hearing, it's not that bad, but it has been a bit of a hurdle for talent to get over. And, when you're a company like AEW, you are going to go through some growing pains. Early on, it was very easy for people to go directly to Tony Khan to get a meeting with him, especially when they were at Daly's Place in 2020 during the pandemic and there wasn't much else going on. Very easy to go up to him, talk about your story, talk about what's going on in the next couple of weeks. As time goes on, as the company grows, as they get more shows, as Tony's time begins to be divided amongst different things, access to him more directly is limited. On top of that, you also have a much larger roster than you once had. And that larger roster includes people who don't have the TV time and TV experience, who weren't there for the early days of AEW, who weren't there in WWE, who don't know how this works sometimes. And for those people especially, you need direction. I don't think you need scripted promos for everyone. No. You shouldn't have scripted promos for everyone, in fact. I think what you will find is most people, when they get to a certain level, you don't need to even give them a script. You can just tell them to hit point A, point B, and go out there and do magic. That is what, part of what AEW was supposed to be. It was supposed to be a place where you could obviously learn, grow, platform new talent, and expose other talent that people haven't seen to the wrestling world, but also be a place where you could have that creative freedom to shine. And it's like a double-edged sword with that, because if you have, too much like reliance on the talent themselves, you are going to see some talent who don't have the level of ability just yet, and they might not have developed it. And Moxley's right. When you have younger guys there, number one, you got to give them the tools they need to succeed. But number two, and also importantly to what Moxley was saying in this piece, you also can't belittle what they're doing. He's right. Everyone at one point was on the bottom of the card. Everyone started somewhere. And for, talent or backstage personnel, whoever said this, to treat, whatever segment that they were in, whether it's recorded for Rampage, whether it's recorded for Ring of Honor, doesn't matter. That is major exposure that these talent otherwise wouldn't get. That is a chance for Tony to see what they can do in the ring. And think about how many talent have appeared on shows like AEW Dark or Rampage or whatever, right? C shows that don't matter to wrestling fans, the majority of us, but matter in the sense of getting people reps and getting an eye on people. You have talent like Ricky Starks, who was signed because of AEW Dark. You have talent like Powerhouse Will Hobbs, who were signed because of like a show like AEW Dark. You have so many of AEW stars currently who got the opportunity on shows like Dark or whatever, and were able to work their way up. That was the bottom of the barrel, but it was still important. And that's what I think Mox is saying here. You cannot and should not, as a company, allow for people backstage to say these types of things. I don't necessarily agree. Actually, no, I don't agree with the fact there should be pistol whip. That's kind of crazy. He's crashing out. But I see why Mox is frustrated, and he should be. Hopefully, that's in the past. I know that, there's been a lot of shakeup backstage as far as not only the creative realm goes in AEW, but also they are growing as a company. They're bringing in new people. They're putting it together and putting in place new systems. So hopefully that works. One thing I know will work for you guys, though, is saving $20 off your first purchase with SeatGeek using the promo code RealTake. Let me talk to you, to quote L.A. Knight. Yeah, the promo code RealTake is going to save you guys $20 off your first purchase when you buy tickets on SeatGeek. All you got to do, go to the description, click that link, download the app, promo code RealTake. And that's all you got. You got $20 right there credited to your first purchase. Whether you're going to see Taylor Swift, in which case I know the $20 won't make a difference, but it is what it is, still $20. Or you're going to a wrestling show, whether it be WWE, AEW, Ring of Honor, TNA, or otherwise, you can save yourself $20. That's $20 more for you to spend on concessions, at the merch stand, in parking, wherever you want. That's in your wallet right there. $20 off your first purchase with SeatGeek when you sign up using the promo code RealTake. That's SeatGeek, $20 off your first purchase. Promo code RealTake. Sign up today, please. Now, we go from my shilling to a pretty big announcement of a show. You want to talk about a show that you can probably spend this SeatGeek promo code on? Let me tell you about it, because, oh boy, ROH is about to run a pretty major arena in New York, in Manhattan, of all places. So is AEW. It's a big announcement that or a big report that came out today. Let's take a look at the report. This is courtesy of FightfulSelect.com. Beyond the Bell and Matmen Radio's Andrew Zarian and Fightful Select Sean Ross Sapp have learned that the Hammerstein Ballroom is the planned venue for ROH Final Battle. There's no word on the specific date of the show. This would mark ROH's first time running the Hammerstein Ballroom since 2019. The company has not been there since the Tony Khan era began in 2022. Andrew Zarian would follow up with an update not only on the date of the Final Battle show, but also AEW actually running the Hammerstein Ballroom. So here it is. AEW Collision will be live from the Manhattan Center, Hammerstein, on December 21st. This is the night after Final Battle. So on Friday, December 20th, you got a Ring of Honor Final Battle. The next day, you have AEW Collision from the Manhattan Center. Insanity. It seems like it's going to be in Hammerstein as well. That is crazy, crazy stuff. Obviously, AEW, as stated in the report, has not run Hammerstein Ballroom in Ring of Honor, has not run Hammerstein Ballroom in a couple of years. AEW has never ran Hammerstein Ballroom. I believe AEW has never run a show in Manhattan, so this is their Manhattan debut, and it's going to be interesting to see what the ticket situation is there, but it's a major announcement. We have not seen a major professional wrestling company, whether it be WWE or AEW, run the Manhattan Center in a very, very long time. We just saw NXT run the ECW arena, have a big arena show there, and a reunion show for ECW there. I think you can expect some ROH as well as ECW integration with the Manhattan Center, Hammerstein Ballroom, show, because that arena is historic. You obviously had things like the One Night Stand 2005, 2006 that really brought to prominence for a new generation the Hammerstein Ballroom, and in a way that we had never seen before, really gave off that aura. But even before that, the Hammerstein Ballroom hosted several ECW pay-per-views, hosted several ECW television shows. And on top of all of that, you also have, it's in the Manhattan Center, which hosted the first ever Monday Night Raw, hosted several other Monday Night Raws. So that whole arena, that whole complex has a lot of history in terms of professional wrestling, and it is crazy that AEW is going to be going there. As far as ticket sales go, they have not gone on sale yet. The announcement has not been made official, but Andrew Zarian and Sean Ross Sapp, two of the best in the business when it comes to this. I fully expect it to be real, and it is going to happen. Expect an announcement. I would expect it soon. I mean, we're just over a month away. You would want to give people a little bit of time to try to buy tickets and try to sell those as much as you can. But I would expect this to be one of their more successful shows, in that I think the atmosphere is going to be electric. There's one thing that's true, Hammerstein Ballroom, the energy around that arena, the energy around that fan base that goes there, it is one of the best. And honestly, to be honest with you, was planning on going to Saturday night's main event the week before in Long Island. I'm rethinking my plans right now because I personally have never been to the Hammerstein Ballroom, and I very much would like to see the Hammerstein Ballroom. And, part of this discussion, too, we have to talk about is, what is Ring of Honor going to be in 2025 and beyond? Ring of Honor, ever since Tony Khan bought it, it has become like a bootleg AEW. Like that's what it is. They record it after Collision and Dynamite. It just does not have the same feel. It does not feel, because no one's there. Like, no one in the arena is there to see Ring of Honor. They're just there to see AEW. So when you have that, it's hard for that show to have an aura. And it just feels like if you watch Ring of Honor wrestling TV, it is just it's just directionless. Now, there's obviously reports out there that they're going to end up on True TV. We'll see if that ends up happening and when that announcement does take place. But if they do that, I think this event could be a precursor to what we might see. I think they should run shows for Ring of Honor that are Ring of Honor specific. Whether it's you have an honor arena that you buy a warehouse, or you buy an arena, whatever it is, you rent it out, and that's the place you go, whether it's Daily's place, I don't care, but have a place that is just for Ring of Honor that you can record your TV out of, you can do all of that gives like the people at home of feeling that this is a Ring of Honor show, not an AEW bootleg show. And then it'll help with ticket sales as well, because you will get those Ring of Honor fans. You won't get, AEW fans who don't know what's going on that product. And hopefully this would also mean that you would be prioritizing telling storylines and making Ring of Honor TV must watch as possible, and at least getting that indie fan base, because that's what this is all about, right? So we'll see. But major stuff happening here with Ring of Honor Final Battle location announcement, or location report, I should say. Hammerstein Ballroom 2024 confirmed. Guys, let me know in the comment section, though. What do you guys think about this? Are you going to be at the Hammerstein Ballroom to watch Final Battle or Collision? Let me know in the comment section. Also, let me know what you guys think about Jon Moxley, his comments about AEW, his frustrations with some of the things that went on backstage there. I want to hear from y'all. Be sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Until next time, be happy, be healthy, and as always, keep it real.